Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. I am Natanis Likens. I just wanted to chat with y'all just a little bit here. There's something that was kind of bugging me for a little while, and I decided to look into it a little bit, and I found some information. So what is it? By the title of this episode, and if I do everything right, or this chat, whatever you want to call this, you should know already. Uh, the there was a video that Neebs Gaming put out where they were talking about the Ark, the animated series TV show, and it was kind of split between they like it, they don't like it, and a few of them hadn't even watched it, so it was kind of like a little, yeah, it's all right kind of thing. And I think part of that is because Neebs Gaming is not really heavy into any of the lore of any of the games that they play, as far as I am aware. Especially Ark. I've quite often seen Absro complain about touching the boxes. He doesn't want to deal with them because he doesn't want to hear the information, yada, yada, yada. But sometime after that, I came across a video that did talk about the lore. And if you don't know anything about me, know that I am a stickler for lore. I love lore. I love learning backstories for things or having backstories be created for future events. There are plenty of YouTubers who they have backstories from years ago. They did something and now that's like a behind the scenes thing, or maybe it's something in the lore of their character that they've done, or something along that line. Like maybe it's got to do with a current build they're working on, stuff like that. I love it. I am a stickler for it. I absolutely love it. The lore behind Ark is just mind-boggling. They deserve an award for a masterclass in world building. There's a lot to take in. I am not the person to do that. I am not the person to talk about that. There are videos out there. Go watch those. It is phenomenal how much information is in the backstories of the Ark video games. Now, with that being said, I do want to say that I don't know what came first, the actual background story or the animated series. To my knowledge, the background story was always there. I don't know if it was completely flushed out. And the reason I say that is because years ago when it first came out, I think I had grabbed it and barely touched it, but I was aware of the notes that were left around because you can find a couple of them pretty easily very early on if you go to the easy zone. I think there's about 3 or 4 of them that you can find just quick, very easy to get to. And they all have the names that are mentioned. Now, there's only 2 names I know for certain, and one that I'm kind of iffy on, and then there's a 4th and 5th character that I'm not exactly, I don't know who those are. I know the backstory behind them. I know like what's going on with them, and then there's the whole nother group. Like there's a lot to unpack in that lore. Anyway, so the main ones that I do know that I want to briefly mention here is Helena. She is a modern day archaeologist, I guess I'm going to say, paleontologist. I think it's paleontologist. So she knows a lot about dinosaurs and has been researching all that and everything. I'm not going to get into her actual story because there's some elements there that I don't care about, but that is her backstory. And then you have Edmund Rockwell. Edmund Rockwell is effectively the villain of the entire series. In the background, he's the villain of the entire series. And again, you need to go read. You need to go listen to the entire backstory of the lore, because he is effectively the villain of the story of the character that we play in Ark, okay? Anyway, I learned about these 2 characters in that video, talking about the backstory and everything, and just the amount of stuff going on, and like, oh, okay, so this explains all the different arcs. Now I know what's going on. That's phenomenal. Some time ago, probably about a week or 2 ago, some information came across to me about Ark, the animated series. And I was sitting there going, wait a minute. Did they make the series the actual backstory? Not the full-blown backstory, but the backstory of the events leading up to us being in the games. Whoa, that sun is really coming out now all of a sudden. So I was really curious about that, and I will say that I've only watched the first episode. I am not going to give you a full breakdown of that or anything, but what I want to point out is, mostly to Neebs Gaming, and if you're a fan of them and everything, you watched their series of them playing Ark, what I want to point out is that the animated series, as far as I can tell, is 100% the backstory of Ark, the video game series. Not the full-blown, assuming they do more seasons. I don't know how far they got into the season 1, but assuming they do more, they'll probably flush out the entire story leading up to the end, and I'm going to leave that for anybody that wants to look up the actual backstory. It is phenomenal. This is exactly what we've been asking a lot of entertainment companies do with video games. Use the source material. That's what they did. Again, I don't know what came first. Did they build the entire lore, like everything that happened before the series? Or did that come about because of the series? Is that the story of the series is now what they fleshed out as far as what's in the game? I don't know. There are some aspects of that I don't like. And if you've been around my channel, you know what I'm talking about. I don't care for that garbage. It is part of the backstory. It's there, and the dogs went crazy. So I want to leave you guys with that. Have a great day, and God bless. Bye. I got to take care of the dogs.